Money can really change lives, can't it? Some people get rich and live comfortably. Others lose it all and struggle to make ends meet. Today, let's talk about someone who was tossed around by money they didn't deserve. My name is Sharon. I'm 32 years old. I live with my husband Tobias, and I'm your typical working wife. I work a 9 to 5 job and visit my dad in the hospital a couple of times a week. My dad has been in the hospital for about 6 months. He's terminally ill with cancer and doesn't have much time left. By the time we noticed the change in his health, it was already too late. He knew it too and wanted to spend his last days in the hospital without troubling me. Respecting his wishes, I left him in the hospital's care. After work, I visited him almost every day. "Dad, you look good today."
Must be the shot they gave me yesterday. How are you holding up?
"I was just here the day before yesterday."
Ah, right.
My dad has good days and bad days, and days like today when we can talk are rare. I want to spend as much time with him as possible. With this in mind, I went to the hospital as much as time allowed. "Dad, did Marilyn come by?"
Haven't seen her lately.
"Seriously, that girl." Marilyn is my younger sister by 5 years. Since my dad got hospitalized, she hardly ever visits. She lives nearby, so why can't she just come to see him? I wonder if she has any intention of showing her face to her father, even if just for a moment.
Actually, I have a favor to ask.
What is it?
Well,
My dad handed me a business card. "A lawyer?"
yes, while I'm still lucid, I had a will drafted and stored with this lawyer. Please visit him after I'm gone.
"Dad, don't talk like that. You're still here."
You're strong, Sharon. I can die in peace.
"I don't want to hear that." My dad smiled gently at me. A week later, he passed away peacefully. I was a mess before and after the funeral. Losing a parent is heartbreaking. No matter how much I cried, I couldn't feel better. "Sharon, stay strong." I was shocked to hear her say that. Right, I need to be strong. "Let's talk after the funeral," Marilyn said, suddenly cheerful. "About what?" "Even though you already know that, when your parents died, there are things you need to talk about, right?" Seeing Marilyn's devilish grin, I realized what she was up to. "You're not talking about the inheritance again, are you?" "Of course I am. Sharon, there's a will, right?" Ever since our dad passed away, Marilyn has been fixated on the inheritance. Our own father just died, and she's already talking about money. It's disheartening, even if she is my sister. Our mom passed away when we were in elementary school. Our dad raised us by himself, a kind and dependable man. And now that he's gone, before the sadness and loss have even settled, she's talking about money. Marilyn and Dad never got along. She was always rebellious and rarely had a peaceful conversation with him. She hardly even visited him in the hospital, but now she's all about the inheritance. How did she turn out this way? Dad was only 65. He should have had plenty of good years ahead of him. I can't believe he went to my mother so soon. Now is not the time for money talk. Wiping away my tears, I returned to greeting the mourners. After the funeral, Marilyn rushed over to me. "So, let's open it." "Hold on, we need a lawyer present to open the will." "Ugh, what a hassle. Can't we just open it now?" "That's not how it works." By law, the will must be opened in the presence of a lawyer and family members, following proper procedures. In fact, Dad had entrusted the will directly to a lawyer, so all I had was the lawyer's business card. The following week, we gathered with our cousin Tobias and a few other relatives for the official opening of the will. After deducting funeral expenses and other costs, Marilyn would inherit $100,000 and I would inherit our family home. $100,000? Marilyn was ecstatic. Well, who wouldn't be thrilled with an unexpected $100,000? Dad's the best. What should I buy? Despite the solemn atmosphere, Marilyn didn't care. You're taking the old house? That dump? Now she looked at me with a mocking half-smile. It is true that the house was originally lived in by my grandparents, and it has been at least 100 years since it was built. Sure, the house is old, but that's no reason to belittle it. I was a bit offended. Poor you, inheriting such a burden. Marilyn kept repeating how poor I was. Compared to that, I get $100,000. Maybe Dad loves me more. Her shrill laughter made me want to cover my ears. That's not true. Dad loved both of us equally. Really? Because the inheritance says otherwise. Would a loving father leave a dump to his favorite daughter? I almost slapped Marilyn. Tobias, standing beside me, tapped my shoulder to calm me down. Don't be too jealous. Marilyn's smug face was truly irritating. But why did Dad leave Marilyn the cash and me the house?
You're the responsible one.
What did that mean? As per the will, Marilyn and I divided the inheritance. What should we do with $100,000? Seeing Marilyn so elated, I felt compelled to offer some sisterly advice. Be careful, you could spend that money in no time. Make a plan. I can buy all the brand name stuff and accessories I want and still have change left. She clearly wasn't listening to me. Marilyn had always been like this. Despite having a steady job, she's always broke and relies on credit card debt to get by. Giving her $100,000, it's probably dangerous. Sure enough, she quit her job as soon as she got the inheritance. Why did you quit? I hate my job, and I've got $100,000 now, so I can take my time finding something I like. You're being reckless again. Are you sure about this? Sharon, are you jealous? You're really getting on my nerves. That's not it. $100,000 won't last you more than 4 or 5 years. Have you thought about your future? Stop nagging me. Just because you didn't get any cash, don't be jealous. She was beyond listening to reason.
I don't think there's any point in talking to her anymore,
Tobias said. So I stopped trying to get through to Marilyn.
She's completely consumed by the money. She'll have to figure it out on her own,
Tobias added. He might be right. Marilyn, who was more concerned about money than grieving for our dad, was probably never going to listen. I decided to distance myself from her. As for the family home I inherited, it's great that you inherited a house, but what should you do? I was at a loss. It's a spacious place, within walking distance to downtown, and even has a parking lot. But it's an old house. I thought about renting it out, but the interior is outdated, and renovations would be costly. Maybe it's just too old, I mused.
I've been thinking,
Tobias chimed in, seeing my dilemma.
Why not demolish it and turn it into a vacant lot?
That's an idea. No one's going to live in it as is. But what would I do with a vacant lot?
Considering the location, how about turning it into a parking lot?
Tobias works in real estate. He found out that the nearby downtown area was in need of parking spaces.
If you rent it out as a monthly parking lot, You'll find tenants easily. You could fit about 20 cars.
Apparently, running a parking lot is less troublesome than managing an apartment building. Combining monthly and hourly rentals could stabilize the income and make good use of the land.
You'll have to pay property taxes anyway. Might as well make some profit,
he added. Let's do it. I took Tobias's advice and started converting the property into a parking lot. Things went smoothly. With introductions from Tobias, I collaborated with management companies and real estate agents to find tenants, and soon started my parking lot business. Within just 2 years, I had paid off the initial investment and was running a profitable business, even after taxes.
Tobias, you're really full of ideas. Not really. Dad left us the land. It felt wrong not to use it.
And so, financially secure and blessed with 2 children, we lived happily as a family of 4. One day, I received a request to deal with overgrown weeds in the parking lot, so I went to take care of it with someone from the management company.
Sorry for the trouble, Miss Landowner.
No worries. This land was passed down to me from my father. I want to keep it clean myself. The property management team said they'd handle it since it's their job, but I insisted on helping out. This land has provided stability for my family. I want to do what I can to show my gratitude. While I'm busy working, I hear someone calling my name from a distance. I look in the direction of the voice and see a frail woman standing at the entrance of the parking lot. Is that you, Marilyn? I'm at a loss for words, seeing how unhealthy she looks. What happened to Marilyn, who used to be plump and healthy? Sharon, what happened to your house? We cleared the family home a long time ago. So you own this parking lot, Sharon? Yes, but... We fall silent for a moment. It's been about 7 years since we last met. Marilyn starts to cry loudly, shaking her bag-holding hand. It's not fair. Only Sharon gets to live in luxury. I'm struggling so much right now. The property management team steps back, puzzled by the scene. I tell them to go ahead and leave, then take Marilyn to a nearby cafe. She starts to talk about her situation through her tears. You can't pay off your debt? Didn't you inherit $100,000? I'm dumbfounded by Marilyn's recent life choices. She spent all the $100,000 she inherited on travel and luxury items. She used up all that money in just about 3 years, and now she's living on borrowed money. But once you get used to luxury, it's hard to give it up. She sells her designer items at auction, buys different ones, and when she gets bored, sells those to buy something else. Before she knew it, her savings were gone, and her debt just kept growing. What about work? I had a part-time job, but I got fired yesterday. Why? The manager was annoying, so I complained. He told me not to come back. I'm even skipping meals to pay off my debt, but life isn't getting any easier. Why can't she see her own mistakes? As I look at her with pity, she glares back at me. Owning a parking lot must be profitable, right? What? If you're making money, give me some. Marilyn shouts at me as if she's about to jump on me. She's over 30, an adult, but her words and actions are still those of a child. Sharon, your cute little sister is in trouble, you know? Now she looks at me with puppy dog eyes. If I indulge her now, she'll keep mooching off me forever. I'm sure of it. Sorry, but I don't have a single dollar to give you. As I calmly tell her this, Marilyn's face turns demonic in an instant. Why not? Why does only Sharon get to have it good? Why? Marilyn screams like a mad woman. The stares from the other customers are uncomfortable, but I respond calmly. If I give you money now, you'll just repeat the same mistakes. Remember what I told you, to use it wisely. Who ignored that advice? Well, I never imagined the money would run out. Her words reveal her lack of planning. Living for the moment, as long as she's happy now. This is the result of that mindset. She quit her job, indulged in luxuries, and before she knew it, all she had left was debt. It's a textbook downfall. Reflect a little. Reevaluate how you use money. You're still young. You can turn this around. Sharon, please, help me. I won't help you. You need to pull yourself up. I say just that, pay for Marilyn's share, and leave the cafe. It's amazing how much people can change because of money. How terrifying the lure of money can be. I'm reminded again. After I pushed her away, Marilyn apparently tried to borrow money from relatives. But since I had already explained the situation to them, no one was willing to lend her any. After all, who would lend money to someone with poor repayment ability, even if they're family? Now she's juggling multiple part-time jobs and slowly paying off her debt. But who knows how many years that will take? Would she have avoided this downfall if she hadn't received the inheritance? No, she might have ended up on the same path eventually. The trigger was the large inheritance from our father, but even a small lottery win or some unexpected income could have led her to this fate. Mom, welcome home! Mom, happy birthday! Greeting me as I come home late from work are my loving husband Tobias and our 2 daughters. I had completely forgotten because of my busy work schedule, but today is my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Tobias hands me a present, and I can't help but tear up. Thank you. I hug Tobias and our daughters gently, savoring the happiness. I hope Marilyn will someday realize that an ordinary, mundane life is where true happiness lies. As her sister, that's my heartfelt wish.